Hi, Tracy. Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. It's my first time. It's a little bit hard to build today because I haven't seen the riders jumping all the week. But as a national show, we always try to improve the horses and the riders for the main courses, international one that we have in a few weeks here. So I have this class SAT 145, and we have number one, the black fence as a vertical, number two, an oxer. Then we start the line 3 to 4 with 6 strides, a regular one. So we have then the double combination, and we have a line on bending for 6 and 7. That's a short 4 strides. So it depends a little bit how the horses jump in that line. We come back to the yellow one, number 8, and I have a time that the horses can breathe a little bit, so the riders can prepare the horse and put the horses on place. And then you come for the last line that you have 5 strides from the music to the triple combination as 1 and 2 strides, and then we have number 12 as the biggest oxer of the ring. So I hope it works.
Marina, tell us a little bit, when you're building a track like this, and I do realize you saw it yesterday for your first time, but the tracks rode really well all week. We had lots of compliments. What do you, when you take into consideration as a course designer, do you look at what's around the ring and what surrounds it? For example, the white tents or the VIP tent, the cars. How does that come into play when you're building this type of a course?
Of course, we have to pay attention for where you're going to use the in and out, where would you like to use it. So as I said, when I built this course, I haven't been here. It was just blanket. So I like to have number one, very friendly, number 1 and number 2 flowing. The horses can gallop a little bit. Then the triple combination, I would like to use next week, close the VIP. And I have a main combination here that we start on VIP and go into the in gate, that sometimes the horses go a little bit forward. So the same than the last line that we have over there. So it's what we try to do, as I'm going to be here for 2 weeks, is change a little bit. Where's the triple combination? Where's the double combination? If I have the triple combination today, like after the line, maybe next week I'm going to try to do before the line. So this is when you have the same group of the rider, is something that you have to have in consideration.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Could you share with us a little bit as well the use of the material? Like when you use the hurdles underneath the jumps versus, say, the gates, and what makes you decide to go rail, gate, rail, those details would be wonderful.
What's nice on the course to have different kind of material, different kinds of rails. It's really nice that here we have a lot of material, different kind of planks and hurdles. This is really good. We don't find this much as you have here. And it depends, like I like to have a light for the triple combination. I don't like to have very closed, because I'd like to invite the horse to jump the in and out. But if you go to the 5 stars or 4 stars, maybe you can have like solid, more, stronger, so more scope for the horse. It depends what you're looking for. And sometimes we need like arrow fences, like you have the number 9, just a light plank on the middle. And the colors of the material is also very important. Like you have this double, that very light blue, solid rails. And for the horse is a little bit harder, because usually they see tones, yeah. So when you have strong colors like red and white or yellow and blue, like different colors, better for the horse. So we try to do different everywhere. Also, like use here 4 rails, like 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom, and the yellow one use 2 planks on the middle. This one, if you have a very white oxer, it's harder because the horses look a little bit, so they jump closer. So if I want to do something harder, I can put this oxer spread. So this is how we look for the material. It's very important to think about the material.
So you were quite pleased then with the amount of material. We're really happy to hear that for sure here. We make a lot of effort as a team to make sure that our course designers and our builders have appropriate and adequate material so that it can look a little bit different each day. So we are really happy to hear that. Thank you very much, Marina. We appreciate your time. Did you want to share anything about the jump off?
Well, I like a fast jump off, so most of the jump off that I try to do, I have places to gallop and places to turn. As we have a grass field, I prefer to gallop and not very short turns. So this is what I have on the beginning, 1 to 4, so the horses can jump very slow and do a short turn for number 4. Then we start to gallop a little bit for the A. We have a long gallop to number 7, that's going to be a vertical. Short turn, but not too tight for the yellow one. And back to the triple combination NB, and again, a gallop for the last fence. So I like gallop. I think it's a speed class.
Thank you very much. Your insights proved very, very informative to everybody listening and watching both the live stream and around the ring today. We appreciate your time, and thank you again for coming early for us. We look forward to having your tracks for the remainder of this week and next week. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So now I'm in the center of the ring with a very special team member, Mr. Mike Lawrence, our show manager. Mike will be our event director at our Major League Show Jumping Ottawa show, which takes place August 24th to 28th. Mike has been a part of our team since we started these events. It'll be the 7th year that we do this as a team, and we couldn't be more proud of the team that we've built and the efforts that the entire team has put into these events. Mike, how does it feel to be a part of the Ottawa Equestrian Tournaments? I know that over the years you've been joined by your lovely wife and your daughter now, who was in the lead line class earlier. If you want to say a few words about the grass field, the changes here in Ottawa that have happened over the last 7 years, I'm sure that we'd love to hear it.
Well, thank you, Tracy, and thank you for being an integral part of the team, Wesley Clover here, and also Duncan Oswald, and of course the Sparks and Matthews family. They've been it's outstanding what they've done for the city of Ottawa, for the sport in general, by bringing back this venue. It operated for many years, in excess of 30 years, but it was wonderful what they've done to bring it back and invigorate the sport here. And of course, this venue, the field is outstanding, and we're really lucky to have it. It's unique in the sport now to have a field of this caliber with grass, and it's great. And of course, the Ottawa community is just so ingrained. The sport is so ingrained in the city, in the region, and it's really nice to be a part of it. So, and we're actually very excited this year to bring Major League show jumping to the region. Major League is a 5-star level, and FEI International show jumping, and we're bringing some of a large number of the top riders in the world. They're going to be here in August, on the 24th to the 28th of August. So we're really excited to have a big turnout for crowds, and I think it's great for the area to see that level of sport back to the nation's capital, and we're very excited to be a part of it, and I think it's going to be a great sport.
Well, Mike, we could speak a little bit about that for sure. A five-star event really falls right under a Pan Am or Major Games. So that level of event will be the first time it's seen in Ottawa, which is a new thing for all of us here and those that support the sport locally and abroad. So we're very excited to be able to be a part of Major League Show Jumping and have that event join us here. Very unique. It's got a team element. What other interesting facts are there involved with that?
I mean, it's a very exciting new concept. They do have teams, that all the riders are participating on teams, and that event is really taken off, and it's exciting sport to watch. And then obviously there's the Grand Prix, which is a 5-star level Grand Prix, and like you say, the FEI rankings, they start from 1-star to 5-star, and 5-star being the biggest, so for a regular competition. So it's very exciting to have that in the region, and we're excited to bring it to you, and I think it's going to be a great sport in the area.
Couldn't agree more. We're super excited about it again. And to everybody that's joined us here today, make sure you get to see everything going on the competition site. We have vendors over on the west side, vendors down the center. Don't forget to pop in and see our hunter competitors. They're on the east side. They are great supporters of our horse shows, and we are always proud to have them. Yesterday, we saw Buckingham win the Hunter Derby, the $10,000 Hunter Derby class, which was held here on the field. That's part of the Canadian Hunter Derby Series, which goes to the Royal Winter Fair. We're very excited to have so many people join us and so many competitors. We couldn't be more pleased than to be able to be somewhat back to normal after the last 2 years. Thank you very much, Mike. I think we're getting close to start time, so we're going to make our way out. Ryan, we are going to hand it back to you and to the lovely Lauren Hunkin.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Mike. Thank you again to our course designer, Marina Azevedo, and to Jill Henselwood, Olympian Jill Henselwood, who was here earlier to judge the lead line class presented by Apple Saddlery. Welcome to the Ottawa Summer Tournaments at Wesley Clover Parks 2022. Bienvenue au tournoi d'été d'Ottawa of 2022. This marks the 7th year of the Ottawa Equestrian Tournament here at the Parks. We would like to take a moment to honor the Algonquin and Anishinaabe Nation, First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Ottawa is built on unceded Algonquin and Anishinaabe territory. The peoples of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe Nation have lived on this territory for millennia. Their culture and presence have nurtured and continue to nurture this land. The City of Ottawa honors the peoples and land of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe Nation and honors all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples and their valuable past and present contributions to this land. Once again, my name is Ryan Dickey, and I am joined again here by Lauren Hunkin, a local legend here in the Ottawa area. We just have a few minutes to go here before this class starts. So Lauren, why don't you just give us a few details on what you think might transpire in this afternoon's class, and maybe a little bit about some of the riders and horses we'll see today.
That he has in the ring. And you'll see, a really big team effort at the backside, in the warm-up area, taking care of making sure that he can get to the ring as quickly as possible. I'm super excited to see how this plays out. It looks like careful jumping out there, and it's just a beautiful afternoon for this, so I am excited for that and for the speed that I'm looking forward to in the jump-off as well.
Thank you, Lauren. We'd like to take this time now to thank our sponsor for this $50,000 Grand Prix, Steelcraft. Steelcraft builds high-quality residential and commercial garage doors, made 100% in-house and designed specifically for the Canadian climate. Through their engineering process and distinctive designs, Steelcraft ensures every component of their doors function at the highest level of quality. Their parts do more than work. They work to the best standards of excellence throughout their use. Un grand merci à notre commanditaire du Grand Prix, Steelcraft.
Ready for you, Hyde.
16 entries to see here this afternoon in this Steelcraft $50,000 Grand Prix. Of course, designed by Marina Azevedo. 16 horse and rider combinations. We do have 2 riders who have multiple mounts here this afternoon. As mentioned earlier by Lauren, Hyde will be here with 5 mounts today, so that is quite the task to undertake. In a class of 16, we will be seeing Hyde just about a third of the time here. So he does have pretty good odds to have a fairly decent afternoon. François Lamontagne also has 2 rides today with Chanel du Calvaire and Thunderbird VH Chief Castile Z. Those 2 riders had a very decent Grand Prix on Thursday as well, as they took the top 4 spots. So I'm sure Hyde is looking to exact some revenge here this afternoon, as he just lost out to Francois on the last rail on Thursday's Grand Prix. Looks like we've got our first horse and rider combination making their way down the hill. We do ask you now, please, ladies and gentlemen, to remove your hats and rise for the national anthem of Canada. Veuillez maintenant vous lever pour l'hymne national du Canada.
Okay, Hyde is in the ring. Marie is next. Francois in 1. Kelly Roberts in 2.
We have a new leader right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is our first of 16 entries in the ring now. Voici maintenant le premier de 16 participants du Grand Prix présenté par Steelcraft. Number 335, le numéro 335, Langley, owner Ariel Grange, and the rider Hyde Moffett. Time allowed in the first round is 85 seconds. Le temps alloué est de 85 secondes.
And Langley is an 8-year-old Canadian-bred mare, homebred from Lothlorien Farms and Ariel Grange. Looking forward to see what she brings to our course today. Starting off here to number 1. Good gallop, little rub at 1. Got a little distracted by the water on the backside. Super effort at number 2. Coming across to our RBC Oxer. And as Marina described, 6 strides across the middle. Very good effort at the vertical. Coming across over to our combination beside the VIP tent can become a little distracting. See how she handles it. Super ride, just a little rub on the back at B. Excellent, little quiet 4 as described. Lovely effort. Now he's going to carry some pace across. He's going around the Asante. He'd be working on time allowed because there's a, whoa, just hung up there just a little bit off that in gate. It's a little challenging for a young horse. And a beautiful ride there. Coming across to our last line, a little bit of an open 5 strides. Handled that beautifully, working on the Oxer. You see him push and encourage her out. Coming to the last. Super effort there to finish up.
A nice round from Hyde and Langley to get things started off here. Just the 1 rail at fence 8 for a total of 4 faults in a time of 77.36. Il s'agit de 4 points de pénalité d'obstacle, dont un temps de 77.36. Well under the time allowed for Hyde Moffett and Langley.
And a great ride there by Hyde and Langley. Just off the in-gate to the Giant Tiger. It's a little bit of a challenge for a young horse. She just got a little bit hung up there, made a really super effort at A, but that light rub at B coming down, or sorry, in the back rail of the Giant Tiger Oxer. He made a super ride around to the last line, gave a great effort through the triple combination, and well under the time allowed, as Ryan just said.
Voici maintenant le numéro 268, the number 268, Chaco Mio Alkerzi.
Hey, Catherine, do you copy?
Propriété de, owned by Shwib Sedaki and ridden by monté par Marie Messier.
And Chaco Mio is a 15-year-old Oldenburg gelding. Marie and Chaco have been together for about 3 seasons now. There she has her nice approach to 1. Great effort there. Beautiful jump at 2. Work on time allowed here. She'll keep coming across the RBC Oxer. Excellent effort. Such beautiful technique from this horse. Oh, you can tell he just loves his job. Coming across, she's fighting a little bit. There, excellent. In and out. Beautiful ride. Gets a little deep, handles it well. Makes the 4 work out beautifully and a super effort out over the Oxer. Now let's see how he handles this off the in-gate. A little older, more experienced horse. And beautifully done. Nice and smooth over the vertical. Coming around to the last line. Oh, just a little rub there. You hear her clucking to him to encourage him out of the triple combination. And a great effort at the end.
Just the 4 faults at fence 10 for Marie Messier et Chaco Mio Alquer. Your second reference time is 79.09. Le deuxième temps de référence est de 79.09.
A super ride there by Marie with Chaco. You can tell he loves his job, and I know that Marie will be so happy with that. He's going to go back to the barn and get a ton of organic carrots.
We welcome now to the ring the winners of Thursday's $20,000 Grand Prix. Number 361, voici maintenant le numéro 361, Chanel du Calvaire. La propriété de Aimont Tépard, owned and ridden by François Lamontagne.
Francois won the open welcome on Thursday. See him encouraging her down to the oxer. Coming across to our RBC 6 stride line. It's a little deep there. She stretches across. And Francois knows this mare so well. He's developed her all the way along, has had many successes in Grand Prix and a few Nations Cup as well. Just that light rub at B. Coming to the Liverpool, little deep, handles it well. He rides the 4. Excellent effort by the mare on the way out. Great effort at the Giant Tiger. Coming across, as Marina said, little area to take a breath, nice big vertical. And then getting prepared for that last line. Balancing the 5, working on the oxer. Handles it beautifully. And up and over that last with a flick of the tail.
And again, just the 1 rail on that trip, 5B. For a total of 4 faults, il s'agit de 4 points de pénalité d'obstacle. Your third reference time, 79.10 for François Lamontagne and Chanel du Calvaire.
A super ride there from Francois and Chanel. You know, just a little bit. She jumps so well over the oxer. She's just a little bit off B. That light rub and it comes down, but a lovely effort all the way around. You see how much she enjoys her job as she has a nice play at the end.
Hyde in 4, Julia in 5, Paul in 6, Hyde in 7, Lauren in 8, Francois back in 9, Jay in 10, Hyde complete.
Next to show in our Steelcraft $50,000 Grand Prix is number 573. Voici maintenant le numéro 573, Blues Your Daddy, owned and ridden by Kelly Robinson.
Nice approach to 1. He's just looking a little bit at the water there. Kelly will settle him back in, get him focused on the oxer. Unbelievable effort there. This horse has so much scope. See her keep coming, covering the ground. Balance the vertical. Beautiful job. Coming across by this VIP tent can be distracting. Excellent effort there. Getting him back for the Liverpool, working hard. Just didn't quite come back to her there. Excellent effort at the Giant Tiger. You see this horse has a very big stride. He carries across the grass beautifully. Last line. Excellent effort here. Working on the 5. Little rub there. And beautiful ride on the way out. Keeping it together for the last. Excellent job.
And again, just a single rail down for a total of 4 faults. Fence 6, the culprit this time for Blues Your Daddy and Kelly Robinson.
And a great round there from Kelly and Blues Your Daddy. She has bred this horse, brought it along, and developed it throughout his life. And she was working really hard down to the Liverpool to get him back. Just a little rub there. Lovely effort, and you'll notice by her time allowed, she currently is leading the class with 4 faults, being the fastest time.
So we've seen 4 of 16 so far here in our Steelcraft $50,000 Grand Prix, just a quarter of the way through our first round. No clears yet. 4 falters, so very even riding out there from the start of this field today. Lauren, any thoughts on the first 4 trips that we've seen?
I mean, we've seen rails come down in different places. There's definitely a challenge out here today. The interesting thing you'll see actually after Kelly had her rail at the Liverpool, you saw her turn on the speed a little bit, because at that point in time, if we have 4 falters, we are then placed by our time. So if you have a rail down and you're sitting with no clean rounds so far, you want to turn on the gas a little bit and make sure that you're efficient enough and still not have any rails down.
That's right, Lauren, and that is the importance here. It's not just about getting over those rails. It is speed as well that matters. Obviously determines how you approach these jumps, these fences when you come to them. But when we have 4 falters like this, tiebreak does come down to speed. Hopefully we'll see a clear round or 2 or 3 or 4 soon enough here from the rest of our field. Again, we do have 2 riders that we've seen already that will be back with different mounts. Francois Lamontagne has his second of 2 to come a little bit later in this class. And as mentioned, Hyde has 5 to see this afternoon of 16. You may have guessed it, but he is our next rider in this class. So it does take a little bit more time than you might imagine to prepare your horse to come down the ring. So he would have hopped off his first mount and directly onto his second to get warmed up in our warm-up ring, which is just behind us up here at the top of the hill. Hyde's making his way down here shortly, though. We will be good to go with our 5th of 16. Still looking for our first clear round.
I have Hyde walking down the ring. I've got Colleen in 1, Lauren in 2, Fernando in 3, Hyde back in 4.
I'd like to take this time to thank Equestrian Digital for their partnership in presenting this week's live stream coverage, including this afternoon's Steelcraft $50,000 Grand Prix. Equestrian Digital helps to simplify, manage, and communicate everything at the Ottawa Summer Tournaments for our viewers tuning in from home. Stay better informed with a streamlined experience from Equestrian Digital. And here he comes now with his second of 5 rides this afternoon. This is number 332. Voici maintenant le numéro 332, Grafton. Another entry from Ariel Grange and ridden again by Hyde Moffat.
And Grafton is a 16-year-old Celle Francais stallion. Hyde and Grafton have been together for a few years now. Just a lovely, lovely equine partner. I'm so excited to see him on this field today. Excellent effort at 1. Hyde's carrying him across the field. I just love this horse's technique. Lots of scope. Excellent job in the 6 across the middle. Coming over to our combination 5AB. Great effort at A. Very nice at B. You see him package the 9 strides. Oh, and he just backed off just a little bit there. You saw Hyde riding him up. He felt something out of the air. The Liverpool got right on it, made the 4 work out well. Giant Tiger, fantastic. Works in 9 strides across the middle. Continues that nice rhythm and pace. Super. Holding it together for the triple. Come on, Grafton. Oh! Just that light rub behind, and then at C, and finishes up over the last.
Boy, oh boy, what a beautiful round put out there by Hyde and Grafton. Unfortunately, toward the end, the middle and last jump of the triple combination, both rails come down for a total of 8 faults in a time of 75.97 for Hyde, Moffitt, and Grafton.
And a great round there by Hyde and Grafton. Almost all the way home, and just that rub behind it, C of our 11 ABC triple combination. And then again in front at C. Very great round, and that horse has unbelievable technique and scope.
Et maintenant dans le manège, le numéro 168, number 168, F.E. Goldeneye. The owner and rider, propriété de et monté par Colleen Loach.
And Colleen and Goldeneye coming over to the Asante Oxer. Colleen has a very long career in the eventing world. She's been on multiple Pan Am teams and to the Olympics twice. Oh, just that rub there. Went to balance up that 6. He didn't quite come back to her enough. To the combination. Just a little bit at A. Light rub there. She's carrying pace here. Backs him up in the 4. Beautiful effort there. Covering the field. Just great effort there by Goldeneye. Oh, just flying across here. And let's see how she handles the last line. Keeping her leg, encouraging him. Beautiful effort. Easy in the 5. Come on, kid. Oh, beautiful ride there. He handled that so well. Oh, what a super trip. Very nice job.
It's a good finish from Colleen and Goldeneye, a time of 75.03. 2 rails down, 8 jumping faults.
An excellent round there by Colleen and Goldeneye. You see she carries great rhythm and pace all the way across and through the course. Just a couple of rubs there. Not, not what she wanted, I'm sure, today, but man, did it make a spectacular effort through the triple combination. That last line was a thing of beauty.
Julia in 2, Paul in 3, Hyde back in 4, Lauren in 5, Francois in 6, Jay in 7, Hyde back in 8 to finish.
Our next horse and rider combination come from entry number 280. Voici maintenant le numéro 280, Icon NR. A North Ridge entry, ridden by, monté par Lauren Hayes.
And you see Icon as she gets started, it gets a little spooky. She's going to reel him in here, coming across to 2. This horse has an unreal jump technique, and I think he's very difficult to sit through in the air. There's so much power there. She'll get him, whoa, working on it. Super ride there by Lauren. He just gets a little bit squirrely sometimes. She's going to work hard here. Oh, no. Yeah, he just, you know what? He just dragged her down there a little bit too much, and you could see him staring off into the VIP tent. Oh, she's doing such a good job putting this together. Just settle him down a little bit, get him focused. Fantastic effort there. And this is where taking a bit of a breath, making him balance. She knows she's got to prepare for this last line. Big stride, strong horse. Lauren does an unreal job riding him around. Come on, baby. There we go. That's it. See her working her upper body to stay with him. Get back in the tack. Wow, that was fantastic on her part. That horse was not easy to ride, and she made an excellent effort getting the job done today.
1 rail down at 5A for a total of 4 faults from Icon and Lauren Hayes. No trouble getting over the jumps, lots of height there. Maybe Lauren can speak to that.
Yeah, you know, Icon, I think, is a little bit of a tricky guy. Lauren does an unreal job working with this horse all the way around the course. I watched them train a little bit yesterday as well. It looked like he just got a little strong staring off into that VIP tent. You know, A came down, but she worked so hard all the way around there. You see her working her body control, unreal. And Icon gave her some really spectacular efforts.
We welcome to the ring now number 577. En piste maintenant le numéro 577, VDL Maverick. The owner is Amanda Harris and the rider, Luis Fernando Sanz Morel.
Coming across the Asante Oxer, Louis and Maverick. We're sixth in our open welcome this week. He's had this horse as a 3-year-old, brought it along all the way. Lovely effort there. You see him encouraging him to that bright, colorful vertical. Asking him to come forward. Yeah, very nice job there. Balancing the 9. Gets you a little bit deep sometimes. And a spectacular effort out. Excellent job there to the Giant Tiger off the in gate with his young horse. His effort at the vertical. You see him encouraging him to stay in front of him. Little deep there. Easy. Lucky. He did good work there to try and help this green horse. And the last, you know, that last line is really tricky.
Four rails down for a total of 16 jumping faults for VDL Maverick and Luis Fernando Sanz Morel.
And VDL Maverick is a 10-year-old Belgian warm-blood gelding. You know, Louis has put this horse together since he was 3 years old, came out on this field and took on the challenge. I think he's got some things to go home and see what he can do about. But that last line is really tricky, coming across. Triple combination, just got a little unwound, but he'll be back to see us next week.
So this is one of
Hyde is on his way back.
just about ready to go here with our next entry. That is one of those times where it's a little bit of a pause in the action as Hyde gets his third of 5 mounts ready here. No clear rounds yet this afternoon, and we have seen half our class now. We've seen 8 of 16 this afternoon. A couple close calls out there. 8 more opportunities here, though, and of course, someone like Hyde has been in here twice already and has 3 more chances to come back in and make a clear round. Francois Lamontagne will be back with one as well, so he's seen the course already. Again, that does better the odds for those riders in particular. And here he is now with his third of 5 rides this afternoon, number 331. Voici maintenant le numéro 331, Jeffrey Jardin. Another aerial Grange entry, and ridden again by Hyde Moffett.
And Jeffrey Jardin is an 8-year-old Dutch-born blood gelding. Hyde on his 3rd ride in this class, looking to find a clean round. We still have Kelly Robinson leading with 4 faults with fast time allowed. Let's see how Hyde handles this with Jeffrey Jardin. He's been super efficient getting these horses ready, but he does need to take his time to warm them up. Now we're on approach to jump number 1. Good effort there. You see him encouraging the horse on the backside to go forward. Great effort there. Coming forward off that in gate. Balances the 6. Great effort. Lovely at A. See him encouraged to be. Oh, he came back a little more than he wanted to. Worked out well. Super effort there at the Oxer. Galloping across to our Giant Tiger away from the in-gate. Lovely effort by the horse there. Yeah, very nice. Okay, this last line. Oh, that was very unexpected. Oh, you can see those 2 horse heads the horse is just peeking at. Young, 8-year-old. So he's going to reapproach. Oh, no. And Jeffrey is saying, not today.
Well, unfortunately, that will be no score this afternoon for Hyde Moffett and Jeffrey Jardin with a second refusal. That leads to no score.
That was just such a spectacular round up to that point. But sometimes they get their eyes on things that are outside of, the viewpoint of the line of the jump. And they're flight animals by nature. So just a little spook there, and he just decided, not today, my friend.
Next to see here in the Steelcraft $50,000 Grand Prix number 524. Voici maintenant le numéro 524, Linford AS, owned by Julia Wiggins Equestrian and ridden by Julia Wiggins.
And Linford AS is a 10-year-old Holsteiner gelding. Julia and Linford have been recently paired together. Looking forward to seeing this track. As she approaches number 1, good gallop. See him balancing her. Sorry, her balancing him. Keeping him together. Big guy, big stride. Lots of scope. Great job there in the 6 strides. Coming across the combination. Just a little rub there on A in the with the hind legs. Working out the 9. Good effort there. Lovely effort out in the 4. So you're encouraging him off that in gate. Putting him back together for the vertical, very nice. Organizing, getting her approach, asking him to come back to her. Good effort there. Easy, yep, work. Very nice. Super ride through that triple combination. Oh, and just that last rail.
And a nice effort put forth there by Linford AS and Julia Wiggins, a total of 8 jumping vaults.
And a super job there by Julia and Linford AS. Just that light rub at A of 5AB. It's a challenging combination. She did a beautiful job riding down to the triple. Really worked hard all the way around. Lovely body control. And just that last rail, bringing it home.
Maintenant dans le manège, le numéro 524, 271, correction, number 271, Ezra. The owner is Vanessa Lee and the rider, monté par Paul Halpern.
And Ezra is a 10-year-old Holsteiner mare by Bradsey. Paul has developed her successfully through Young Horse Development Series. She's won 3 Grand Prix so far this year. Let's see what happens today. Just love this mare. The beautiful expression, lovely gallop. Nice work to number 1. Coming across the 2, you see her shake her head a little bit. Paul just guides her there quietly. Great effort across the middle in the 6. Coming over to our blue combination by the VIP tent. Jumps in well, nice out. Let's see how we handle the Liverpool. Super job there. Head over, Oxer. Come on, Paul. Yeah, good effort there. Oh, just fighting him a little bit. Got it worked out. Working on the triple. Come on. Come on. Hold on to it. Excellent. Bringing it to the last. Oh, yes.
And
excellent
there it is,
job.
our first clear round of this afternoon's Steelcraft Grand Prix. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, Paul Halpern aboard Ezra. What a beautiful round. Lauren, What did you see there that made that work for Paul and Ezra?
You know, Paul has brought this horse along since she was 4 years old, and Vanessa, I'm sure, is going to be extremely excited at that in-gate. He knows her so well. You see this mare, she's got such a positive expression. Her technique is fantastic, and she wants to win. So much fun to see them out there, and I'm so happy for you, Paul. Good job today.
Riding 8 with Paul clear.
Just finishing up top is Hyde Moffett with his 4th of 5 rides this afternoon. We've seen 11 of 16 now. And one clear round, of course, you just saw from Paul Halpern and Ezra, hoping to get at least 1 or 2 or 3 more here. We have 5 to go. We'd love to see a jump off here on this course presented by Marina Azevedo. Our course designer here has done a spectacular job this afternoon with this course. Beautiful jumps that we have this year here on the grass field as well. It's really given it a nice new updated look. And we hope that you enjoy seeing those and all these wonderful horses and riders as they jump those fences here in the $50,000 Grand Prix presented by Steelcraft. 5 to go here. Hyde has 2 of those 5. François Lamontagne, who has already been in here once this afternoon, will return with his 2nd of 2 mounts. And there he comes now. You can look down there, down to the gate, and you'll see number 334 making their way in. Voici maintenant le numéro 334, Donjo, an Ariel Grange entry, and ridden by Hyde Moffett.
Donjo is a 14-year-old Dutch warm blood gelding. You see this big moving chestnut horse out on this field. Lots of scope. Look forward to this round. And there we have the buzzer. You see Hyde showing the combination to Donjo, getting him organized and ready. Nice approach to 1. Getting started around that water jump. Oh, just a little rub at the front rail. Coming across. Handling the 6 very nicely. And powers up for the combination, handles that well. Oh, and it looks like he's got a bit of a problem with his breastplate. It's come unattached. You see him coming inside. You see that dangling down through his legs. Donjo is not distracted by it. Bringing him around. Oh, that was certainly unexpected. Could be that he is distracted by the breastplate. It is slapping around down between his legs. He's continuing back around. Gonna reapproach this triple. Oh no, he is gonna reapproach number 1. My apologies there. He has retired.
No score there for Hyde Moffett aboard Donjo. That is a voluntary retirement. We will see Hyde back here, however, with 1 final ride.
Yeah, and it looked like we had just a little bit of an equipment failure there. You saw the breastplate down between Donjo's legs. It attaches down through the girth, and it looks like he might have punched himself in the belly, and that came undone. So when it's probably going to be quite distracting for him, I think he made a lovely effort keeping that horse going around. We'll have him back to see him next week.
First of 4 remaining here. This is number 430. Maintenant dans le manège, le numéro 430, Viandios d'Avril. Propriété owned by Pauline Esdale et monté par, ridden by Lauren Esdale.
Really good start there to number 1. Just coming across with great rhythm and pace to 2. Comes forward to the RBC, working on the 6. Good ride, slight rub there. She's making a lovely effort here. Balances the 4. Oh, this horse is so elastic. Coming across the vertical. Very good effort. You see the flick of the tail there as the hind end finishes. Oh, little rub. Whoa. Yeah, you hear her saying, whoa. There we go. Back and, oh, almost had it. Just didn't quite come back to her for the C of the triple.
Oh, so close for Lauren and Viandios d'Avril. Just the final fence in the triple combination. Comes down a beautiful ride. Beautiful ride from Lauren and Viandios d'Avril. 4 jumping faults.
A super ride there from Lauren. You know, she was fighting pretty hard for that triple combination. She made a great effort at A and B and just couldn't quite get her back for C. But a great ride from this 20-year-old. Looking forward to see her in the next few weeks.
Et maintenant, dans le manège, pour une deuxième fois, le numéro 364, Thunderbird VH Chifka Steel Z. Propriété de et monté par, owned and ridden by François Lamontagne.
And Thunderbird is an 8-year-old Zangerside mare. Francois bought this horse as a 4-year-old from France. Has been bringing her along quite nicely. Let's see how she handles this today. 3rd place finish in the Open Welcome on Thursday. Lovely effort there. Great at the vertical. You see her study the jumps. She really uses her front end and her hind end well. Lovely effort there. Oh, you see her reach there. So careful. Very nice. Coming across. Off the in gate to the Giant Tiger. Excellent. Oh. Just love her technique in front. Hard line coming up for a young horse. Great effort. Good at B. And out over C. Bringing it home. Oh, excellent.
There it is. We do have a jump off this afternoon. A clear round from François Lamontagne and Thunderbird VH Chifka Steel Z. Parcours. They will return here upon completion of the first round of jumpers. So joining Paul Halpern and Ezra in the second round will be François Lamontagne and Thunderbird VH Chifka Steel Z with 2 riders to go.
What a great round there from Francois and Thunderbird. You see that horse, her effort in front. She reaches, she brings her knees up really high, and Francois has developed this horse since a 4-year-old. It's so nice to see this partnership evolve.
Our second to last entry now, number 282. Le numéro 282, Elton John, owned by Fen Randazzo and ridden by Jay Hayes.
Great approach to one, handled it nicely. Big, scopy gray horse. Beautiful job at number 2. He's a 13-year-old Dutch warm blood gelding. Lovely technique in front. Just love watching these two go. Little rub there at the vertical. And coming across. See him connect. Oh, just that late rub there at B. Tricky combination. Hitting him back for the Liverpool. Handles the 4 beautifully. He's going to go inside because 4 faults with a fast time still gets you a very good prize. And as you take that speed across, you just got to make sure the rest of the rails stay up. There we go. Galloping across, getting ready for our last line. 5 strides to our triple. Working the 5. Letting the horse come up to him. Working on the vertical, coming out. Yeah, very nice. Oh, and just that last jump.
And then there was one. Hyde, we're just waiting for you when you are ready.
2 rails down for a total of 8 jumping faults for Elton John and Jay Hayes.
And a great round there from Jay and Elton John. I love this horse, so much scope. Great technique. Just a light rub there at B of 5AB. And then you saw him turn on the speed a little bit to try and be that fast 4 and just got a little unlucky at the last, but handled it so well.
So just one entry left to see here in our first round. Again, that's Hyde Moffat coming back with his 5th of 5 rides. Hyde and his mount Amalia had a great day on Thursday at the Welcome Grand Prix, the $20,000 Welcome Grand Prix here, finishing second, just knocking down the last fence in the jump off and falling to Francois Lamontagne, who we saw jump clear just moments ago to join Paul Halpern as the only 2 clears. So one more opportunity here. We'd love to say a third. There will be some time, about 10 to 15 minutes in between the 2 rounds here, as there is quite a bit of work to be done. The jump off is not the same course done as it is in the first round, so there is some work to be done by our crew, led by our course designer, Marina Azevedo. So, Lauren, as I said, just the one to go here. Hyde's coming down with his 5th. I guess, what are your thoughts in terms of what you've seen here this afternoon with 1 to go?
Well, I think it's been a great class here. You know, the course is a super challenge for this list. Rails are coming down in different places. The combinations are definitely challenging. But all the horses are still encouraged, which is wonderful to see. If anybody has a little bit of difficulty out here, what they're going to do is go home, put a little homework together, and come back and try again next week. You know, it's 2 horses in our jump off. Paul made a lovely effort with Ezra, Francois with Thunderbird. It should be pretty exciting for the jump off, and I would love to see Hyde join them as well. So we'll see what he brings to the table with his last. Amalia was wonderful on Thursday. I'm expecting the same from him today on her. And yeah, it's careful jumping out here. It is to spec. The field itself is very impressive, and I think we've seen a lot of fantastic situations today.
And Lauren, I would imagine with 4 seen thus far from Hyde, certainly experience always helps, but I would imagine that fatigue would be a factor right now for a rider.
Yeah, the interesting thing though is Hyde does a lot of physical training and is extremely fit. He's probably one of the fittest riders at this horse show. So that gives him great preparation for all of these rides that he has today. It's really wonderful. I was down at the in-gate earlier, and between the Lothlorien themselves and the organization, there's been teamwork going on back there to make sure that he can get off one horse, get on the next. I know that he's highly organized and highly detailed, but I also know that he wants to give these horses the right amount of time for their warm-up to make sure they're prepared properly, and I know that he's up there doing that right now, and as efficiently as he possibly can, but also in still being fair to the horses and making sure they have their best shot here today.
Well said, Lauren. We are just moments away from Hyde making his way down here to wrap up this first round. Again, we've seen 15 of 16 entries here. We will take about 15 minutes in between the 2 rounds so our grounds crew can set up the jump-off course. The jump-off course will be a shorter course. Therefore, the time allowed will be shorter as well. So the time allowed in the jump-off will be 61 seconds versus the 85 seconds allowed in the first round. Making his way down here is the man that we've spoken quite a bit about today. This is number 336, Amalia, an entry from Ariel Grange and ridden by Hyde Moffett.
So Hyde coming in on his 5th horse and his final horse, and our final horse of the first round. See him showing her around, giving her a chance to see everything, see the distraction of the VIP tent. Amalia is an 8-year-old Dutch-born blood mare owned by Ariel Grange, as Ryan just said. We've got our buzzer is gone, and we're ready to roll. Giving her a nice start there to number 1. He's a fast horse, very much a goer. Oh, just got a little bit strong there towards the in gate, just that light rub. Great effort there. Excellent to the vertical. Coming over to our combination. Just a little too much ground speed there. And he's going to ask to retire.
Well, he gave it his all there this afternoon from Hyde Moffett. But he does ask for a voluntary retirement. So that is the end of our first round here in the Steelcraft $50,000 Grand Prix. Again, as discussed, we will now take some time to allow for our ground crew to make the necessary changes for this jump-off course. 2 to see coming back here. They will come back in the order that they showed in the first round, meaning that Paul Halpern will be back in the ring first with Ezra, followed by Thunderbird VH, Chief Castilzi, and Francois Lamontagne. 2 more to come back here once we've completed our course adjustments.
So thank you very much to Ryan and Lauren up in the booth. We certainly appreciate Lauren's expertise and her insight into the sport for those of you watching. I welcome you back to the center of the ring, where I'd like to welcome the Executive Director, Grand Prix rider, mom of 4, phenomenal horse person who supports the sport and that we couldn't appreciate more, Mrs. Karen Sparks.
Thanks, Tracy. It's really great to be here on this beautiful day, and I brought with me a special guest, Mr. Ian Miller, 10-time Olympian, to tell us a little bit about what this 2-horse jump-off will look at, what these riders are thinking about, how the jump-off may ride, and what they're thinking, and a little bit of the strategy on what's going on in their minds. And there's no better person to give you that, because he's done more jump-offs than you can count and won quite a few of them. So please give a big hand for Mr. Ian Miller.
Thank you, Karen. Often, some of the most exciting jump-offs are when you have 6 or 7, and it just really turns into a very fast situation. However, I would tell you some of the most epic and interesting jump-offs I've ever seen have been 2-horse jump-offs. The reason, it's all strategy. Paul Halpern's going to go first. He has a naturally quick horse, so he doesn't really have to work at the time that hard, but the faster you go, the higher risk of having a rail. If he has a rail, he makes a president of the class to Francois. Then all Francois has to do is canter around slowly, and he's the winner. So he has to put enough pressure on Francois so that Francois, in trying to beat him, will have a rail, or just can't beat him on the clock. Francois has a slower horse, although the difference is Francois is a very serious rider, and he will get a lot of speed out of that slower horse. So if Paul ever underestimates the combination of Francois and that horse, he will lose. If he overestimates it and goes too hard himself and has a rail, he makes a president of the class. So it's a very tricky little balance to watch, and I know both these riders very well, and they know each other very well. They know each other's horses very well. They know the strengths, the weaknesses, and believe me, strategy on display here in this jump-off. I personally am going to find it highly interested. Both are friends of mine, and yeah, it's going to be really good sport to watch them play chess.
Thank you, Ian. Really great to get your take on that. I'd like to take a few minutes to thank a bunch of people. First off, yourselves for coming out. It's really nice to see a crowd out here after 2 years of a pandemic, and I know it's still out there a little bit, but you're all out here enjoying this beautiful sport, and we're doing this for you. So thanks for coming out and enjoying all these amazing riders. Thanks to the riders, of course, bringing their beautiful horses out. You saw how beautifully turned out they are, how much effort they put into being here. So thanks to them for coming out. You saw Marina's beautiful course out here. She really challenged the riders, only 2 of them going clear. That was a really, really nice thing to see. So thanks to Marina, and it brings me to a big thank to the crew. You see the guys here in green putting the jumps together, making sure the footing is good. There's crews in the other rings. They're here doing a real bang-up job, and I'd really like to ask you to give them a round of applause, because these guys work really hard for us. A lot goes into these shows. If you haven't been here in a while, we've got all sorts of improvements, and my team at the park, Tracy, Duncan, we've got Rob Wright here, Randy Harkale. I could go on and on with the guys that put the work into making this place look the way it does. It takes a whole village, so I want to thank my whole team at the parks, and I want to thank Ottawa Tourism, all our sponsors. The list is endless of who we need to thank, but at the end of the day, it's a beautiful day. We're all enjoying this beautiful sport. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy this pretty exciting jump-off. Back to you, Trace.
Thanks very much to both of you. We really appreciate your time, especially you, Captain Canada, who we are privileged to have step out on this field every time we ask you. And we couldn't be more grateful at your graciousness. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Karen, and especially for your support of this sport. Without Karen's support, the Ottawa area would never have seen the return of these tournaments. Karen and her family have been incredibly generous in ensuring that the top of show jumping returns to Ottawa, in particular in August, where we hope to all see you for Major League Show Jumping Ottawa. Thanks again, guys, and we look for a really great jump off between Paul and Francois. Let's see what those two boys do.
Two to see here in this afternoon's $50,000 Grand Prix jump-off presented by Steelcraft. Paul Halpern's just at the up at the top right now, just completing his warm-up, or just about to complete his warm-up, making his way down here shortly. I'm told he's on his way. First of two here, Paul Halpern and Ezra, followed by François Lamontagne and Thunderbird VH, Chief Castile Z. Time allowed is 61 seconds in this jump-off. Le temps alloué au barrage est de 61 secondes. I'd like to take this opportunity once again to thank our class sponsor, Steelcraft. Steelcraft builds high-quality residential and commercial garage doors, made 100% in-house and designed specifically for the Canadian climate. Through their engineering process and distinctive designs, Steelcraft ensures every component of their doors function at the highest level of quality. Their parts do more than work, they work to the best standards of excellence throughout their use. A big thank you again to our class sponsor, Steelcraft. Merci beaucoup. And notre commanditaire du Grand Prix, Steelcraft. Making their way out of the final jump area. Just up the lane here and into the ring. First of two competitors to see here in the jump-off. Again, time allowed 61. Le temps alloué au barrage est de 61. This is Paul Halpern aboard Ezra, number 271.
And you see Paul taking Ezra around, showing her the track, the first turn back to number 4. So it's 1 Marks Motors, roll back inside the water to number 4, across over to A, 5A of our combination, and then a long gallop over to 7, which has become a vertical. I think we'll see them roll back as efficiently back to the Giant Tiger. And then they come back to 11AB. So we'll see what track they take there, most likely inside number 4, just around number 1. And then finishing it up at the last long gallop coming home. Here's Paul starting off. Good effort there. Roll back tight enough. With the angle, very nicely done. Yeah, good effort there. You see him encourage her, galloping across the field to cover the ground. And making sure she has her balance at the vertical. A little rub there behind. Stretching across the oxer, continuing the gallop over to the combination. I'll have to get her eye on it. It's a little blind turn. Excellent effort there. He's going to keep putting the pressure on Francois by galloping to the last. Oh, and just had it down behind.
What an effort from Ezra and Paul Halpern. Heck of a round there. Just the final rail falling at fence 12 for a total of 4 faults. 44-16 their time. So that's what Francois and Thunderbird have to beat here to come out on top of our Steelcraft Grand Prix. 4 faults, 44-16. Incredible effort put forth by those two. Lauren, what were your thoughts there on Paul's ride with Ezra, rather?
Yeah, that was just such a fun ride to watch. He was so efficient back to the vertical, all the way across to 5A, gallop across the other vertical, 7, which is now a vertical, rolled back on the Giant Tiger, blind turn to 11AB, and just a little unlucky at that last jump. But you got to take a shot and you got to put the pressure on. And I know that Ezra enjoyed doing that, and I know she likes going fast. So we'll see what Francois brings to us. I think we're getting a little word here that there's maybe a nail loose in one of Francois' shoes, so they're going to get that tightened up and make sure that everything's in the right place so he gets just as much advantage on this field as everyone else.
So, Lauren, I suppose it would be easy to assume then that, now that Paul has gone and Francois knows that he doesn't need a clean round here, that he can take it easy out there, slow down his pace, and, priority number one, really just getting around clear and under the time allowed of 61, which Paul did with lots of time to spare. What would you say to that thought?
Well, he can go around and he can be careful, and he might be a little bit slower than Paul, but if he does drop a rail, then he is at a loss. So he's going to have to go at pace for most of the track, because if he does have a rail early on, you'll see him pick up that speed and try and beat Paul's time. I would imagine he's going to come out here, be just a little bit slower in certain areas, but if he has a rail early, I think he'll turn on that speed with Thunderbird.
So that's why we've got you here, Lauren. Those are the answers we're looking for. Not something you might think about, but it's true. You can be overly cautious at times, and were that rail to come down, Paul would have that advantage of not really knowing what Francois would do when he comes in the ring. So Paul had to give it his all out there with Ezra, and that's what we saw. Just the final rail coming down for a total of 4 faults. So one more to see here as Francois and Thunderbird VH Chief Castile Z deal with their issue up there, although it looks like they'll be making their way down here shortly.
So unfortunately, we're just getting word back from the in-gate here, and Francois has decided with his nice 8-year-old that he's going to waive his jump off, which means that Paul ends up winning this class. Francois will end up second place for sure, as he has completed that first round course, and with the two of them, he will end up in second at that point. Look forward to seeing Ezra and Paul back out here. And Francois is making that horseman's decision to save that nice young horse for another day. She did such a beautiful job in the first round. And sometimes we get a little unlucky in sport and decide that it's better to put it away for another day.
Yeah, really unfortunate, Lauren, for not only Francois and Thunderbird, but for his entire team here that's been working on getting prepared for this class this week. Unfortunate too for Paul Halpern, who we'd assume would like to have won this class in the most professional and traditional of senses, and having to go one-on-one with Francois. However, that doesn't mean that Paul Halpern won't turn down this victory today, or that nice red cooler that's on Ezra right now. So we do congratulate Paul. Again, not easy to go first when there are only two of you there, and he really pulled it together. Francois and Thunderbird, they'll be back, no doubt about that. As they come into the ring right now, we'll just get set here for ribbons presentations. Of course, there will be some photos taken. An
Thank
awards
you, Ryan.
presentation coming up too. Sorry, Tracy, take it away there.
All good, Ryan. Great job up in the booth. My old friend, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the winner's circle. Congratulations. How did you feel today, Paul?
Thank you to my old friend. I'm speechless. I feel fantastic. Ottawa is pretty much a second home to me. I lived here for, I feel like decades. I worked and trained with many of the best trainers in Ottawa, learned basically everything I know how to do what I did today in Ottawa. I've been riding in this fabulous field for all those years. This is actually my first Grand Prix win here, so I've been thinking about this day for 20 years.
And your lovely mare. tell us a little bit about her. I know you've had her since the beginning of her career. You've been a rider or trainer for Vanessa, and I know how proud you are of her, and I know how much you love your horses. So here's your opportunity to say a little bit about Ezra.
Man, that's hard to say. I wonder if my wife is going to be jealous. But no, I love this mare so much. She's just, I find she's extremely clever. She loves what she does to the utmost. I mean, it's when the trailer pulls in the yard to go to the show, she completely changes. I just don't know what, she looks for the jump. She's careful. She's fast. She loves to do it. I know her so well that, I can read in her body language the way she grows coming to the show. She's lovely to ride. I mean, she gives me 110%, and I know people say that, but it is absolutely true. If I don't make a mistake, she will not. So if you ever see me having a rail, it's my fault.
Well, thank you, Paul. I know that Mira and the kids are super proud back home, so congratulations from us here at the Ottawa Equestrian Tournaments on your win in the $50,000 Grand Prix, and I hope you enjoy your evening. Congratulations, Vanessa. And as Lauren said, your mare clearly loves her work.
Without a doubt. In my last words, thank you so much to the Ottawa Horse Park, the whole team, Karen, Tracy, Mike, Duncan, all of you. You do a fantastic job. As Francois said the other day, we see the improvements every single year, and I'm sure there's more to come. So hats off to the whole team, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Paul. We'll just guide your attention over to the VIP side corner of this ring here, where we have waiting to present Paul and all of our participants here with their ribbons and a trophy to our winners, Paul Halpern and Ezra. Out there we have Mike Lawrence and Karen Sparks. Karen is also welcomed by her daughter, Summer Sparks. Presenting Paul right now with his red ribbon for the win this afternoon. They will also receive the Ottawa Summer Tournament's 1 Grand Prix trophy. And we'd also like to congratulate Vanessa Lee, the owner and groom of this horse, Ezra, and thank our sponsors at Green Hawk for donating a shed row backpack. A nice little perk there for being the groom of Paul's horse, Ezra here. Probably a few perks with being the owner as well. So Vanessa Lee, congratulations. And we hope you enjoy your new shed row backpack, graciously donated by Green Hawk, one of our many wonderful sponsors here at the Ottawa Summer Tournament 1 at Wesley Clover Parks. In second place this afternoon on deuxième, again unable to participate in the jump off, but a champion nonetheless, number 364, le numéro 364, Thunderbird VH Chief Castilzi and François Lamontagne. In third, en troisième, number 430, le numéro 430, VM Dios d'Avril and Lauren Esdale. In fourth, en quatrième, number 573, le numéro 573, Blues Your Daddy and Kelly Robinson. In fifth place, en cinquième, number 335, le numéro 335, Langley and Hyde Moffat. In sixth position, en sixième, number 268, le numéro 268, Chaco Mio El Kerzi, and Marie Messier. In 7th en 7e, number 361, le numéro 361, Chanel du Calvaire and François Lamontagne. In 8th position, en 8e, number 280, le numéro 280, Icon NR and Lauren Hayes. In 9th en 9e, number 168, le numéro 168, FE Goldeneye and Colleen Loach. And in 10th, en 10e, number 332, le numéro 332, Grafton and Hyde Moffett. Thanks once again to Karen Sparks, her daughter Summer Sparks, for being out there to present ribbons and trophy to our participants in today's Steelcraft $50,000 Grand Prix. A huge thank you again to our sponsor, Steelcraft. And let's do this one more time, folks. The victory gallop around the ring from not only our winner, but all of the top 8 finishers in today's Grand Prix. Let them hear it, folks. Paul Halpern and Ezra, winners of today's Steelcraft presented $50,000 Grand Prix. Well done, Paul. Well done, Ezra. Et félicitations à tous nos participants du Grand Prix aujourd'hui. We have more to come this weekend from this ring. One more day tomorrow and a second week of show jumping here in the Grand Prix ring at Ottawa Summer Tournaments. Congratulations, Paul. Big fan base out there. Enjoy the ride and enjoy the evening. Be safe out there.
We have a new leader.